Now, on that slide I showed you before, avoiding unnecessary value copies was just one advantage. The other advantage was that we can also directly mutate values. And that's what I'll do next. Because here in our code, we're passing this age pointer to getAdultYears, and therefore in there, we could of course, instead of returning the result of deducting 18 from age, we could instead dereference that pointer to get access to the value and directly deduct 18 from that. Now that alone won't do much, we also have to store that result somewhere. So before we returned it, now instead we could store it in our pointer. However, not like this of course, because keep in mind, age is the pointer, not the value. Here we are dereferencing it to get a new value. If we then want to write that value back into that place in memory where age was stored, we have to dereference it here as well. And with that, we're getting the value, we're deducting 18 from it, and we're then taking the result of this operation and we're putting that result back into this place in memory here. So where 32 was stored before, we're now overriding that 32 value with that new value, without returning or doing anything like that, just by using that pointer which we receive. Therefore, getAdultYears will no longer return anything, and we should therefore remove that return type annotation. Therefore here we no longer need to store that in AdultYears because we no longer get a value, and here we should therefore instead output age or the dereferenced age pointer. And here I'll output the original age variable so that we see what that gives us. With that, if we save that and we run the app, you'll see something interesting. I first get age 32 and then I get 14 here. Now age 32 is coming from this line here, where we dereference the age pointer and get hold of the value stored under that address, so the 32. The second output here, however, this 14, is coming from this code here. And that's really interesting because here I'm outputting age. Not my age pointer, not the dereferenced age pointer, but the original age variable. But keep in mind that getAdultYears did edit that place in memory. It overwrote the numbers stored under that address. And therefore, it overwrote this 32. And that variable just also used that place in memory. So if we change that place in memory, that variable holds that new value that's stored there under that address in memory. That's why we're outputting 14 with this line of code here, because we edited the original value. And that can be an advantage because we don't have to return something here now, but of course it can also be a problem because it might be unexpected that we overwrite the original value. We might not want that. Especially if we have a name like this, getAdultYears. That does not sound like it edits something. We instead might want to call this edit age to adult years to make it clearer what this function will do. And then call this function to be more descriptive. But that is how you can use a pointer to mutate a value without returning it or anything like that.